SMCU, I'm glad you're here today. The fact that you hit that button, you went to the YouTube page just to watch this video, I don't want to disappoint you today because SMCU says you want to see something close up. You're at the Declaration right now. That's what it's called, the Declaration. I've got a daughter, her name is Aubrey, and sometimes I look up and see Aubrey on a Victoria. Or I see Avon Vanguard and other things, and those things don't mean anything to you, but they mean something to me. Let me share something with you. The Reverend White, I wasn't always the Reverend White. I was born Frederick Charles White to Bonnie Jean White back in 1967. Bonnie Jean White, my mother, had many sisters. Bonnie Jean White, you gotta know a name like BJ in the 70s, and if you were a little bit prettier than Nancy Sinatra, you know the guys were thinking about something else, you know what I mean. To be a child of a single mother, as well as my other siblings in a car, traveling all along the beaches. We would go to the beach up in Eureka, California, Clam Beach, and my mother would make candles. She would take the redwood burls, whatever we found. We would turn it into art, and she would go sell it. And for the most part, we were very busy. We were able to travel around, do things, but we also had a plastic hose in the car. And we called that the Okie credit card. And anybody knows with a gas can Okie credit card, you can go anywhere. Well, if you're really quick and don't get your ass beat trying to steal somebody else's gas. Well, and my siblings, they'll probably agree or disagree, but if you knew my mother, you knew she owned a hatchet. And there was one year that we was kids, and my mother had a boyfriend named Aki, Japanese guy. And Mom kept that hatchet just about anywhere she wanted it. She didn't have a gun. God knows she'd have killed some people. The truth was, Aki brought her a Christmas present. We was all sitting there for Christmas, and we sat down as kids and got to Mom's present. Well, Mom opened up her present in front of everybody, and you want to know what was inside of it? A negligee. Now, I'll tell you, that did not go over well with Mom, right in front of her children. As a matter of fact, she went for her hatchet, and Aki ran for the door. Aki got in the truck, and my mom put that hatchet right through his window for bringing something inappropriate in front of children. Now, let's get the buttons. Who pushes what buttons? I was with Daisy this morning. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of the truth. Growing up as a kid with Bonnie Jean in the car, she drank a lot. She was an alcoholic. At the end, the shit just got to her, and the alcohol didn't work. She went to heroin, and then walked in front of a car, killed herself. There's a short story on Bonnie Jean White, but there's a whole lot in between. And the question is, how much do you need to know? You don't need to know shit. That was my mother. If you know anything about her, it's because I fucking said so. Same thing with my family, my children. You don't need to know shit about my family other than what I tell you. If you're that damn curious, you might be a stalker. And we need to talk about that. As a kid, as I was growing up, I was different than the rest of the kids. I beat the shit out of everything. I even hit my brother over the head with the board with a nail in it. And no, I wasn't trying to be his friend. I was probably trying to kill George for taking the bike with Gordy and leaving me alone. Yeah, I'm that kid. I lost my shit a lot of times. So, growing up as a young kid, knowing that my mother was being raped and abused, and used is really the term. I can remember a time as a young child. Again, kids, 4 of us, different dads. Each one of us have a different father. What does that mean, ladies? Yeah. Different dick. Yeah. But she didn't abort the children. She kept us. And God knows she ran like hell to keep the police from kidnapping us from her. I asked her one day, I said, Mommy, how come you never check in with Daddy? She goes, oh boy, if they find out in Texas where you are, they're going to come and take you. Anderson. Charles Douglas Anderson or some shit like that. That'd be on the birth certificate. But there was another man. Augie was his name. Grandma said he was a Portuguese dairy something farmer in Tracy. Nobody knows the horse shit. Nobody knows who was fucking who. My mother was a go-go girl in San Francisco. When she met my father in San Francisco, he was in the Navy. He was a Navy squid, and he was stationed at NAS Alameda, probably on one of the local ships there. There's a picture of him holding my brother, about 3 years old. That'd be about what makes sense, because I'm 4 years younger than George. George is my older brother, finest man I've ever met. There's no better man than my brother George. Air Force veteran, fueler, just a stellar man. He is truly a sportsman, though. He loves motorcycles, and he's just a real square guy. I got another brother, Tim. Tim's a little different. He's a lot different. Tim was socially retarded when he was a child. It was very difficult to deal with Tim as he was getting older because he was not, as other people were, he grew up a lot different. My sister Jeannie is probably the finest woman I know, but she'll tell you she's a Nazi bitch when it comes to dealing with her kids. And I don't mean Nazi like hating Jews. I mean, she is fucking uptight. You fuck with her kids, and she's gonna come back with something. She's a real woman. And I ain't saying she's prejudiced either. She loves everybody. And she tries to help people, too. What I fail to understand sometimes when I see my sister behaving certain ways with other people is to characterize her as that individual. No, she just knows how to put the mean on. That's what I mean by Nazi bitch. I hate Nazis, and I hate fucking people that are mean. The truth is, who am I? I think that's why you're watching now. You want to know a little bit more about me. When I was 8 years old, we were finally taken into a foster situation. We were taken to an orphanage, Mary Graham Hall. Mary Graham Hall, Mom got in a DUI, crashed the car. We had a beautiful Cutlass station wagon, fucking moonroof, fucking look at the stars, seat turned around the back. I can remember as a kid sitting in the back of that car, taking a ride to Eureka, California. And I can remember being on the floorboard of that car when it was cold and looking up at my mother as she was driving along, and she'd have a cigarette just hanging out of her mouth. And truth is, there was once or twice I was sitting right next to her. She'd have her bottle right in the middle, and she'd have that stogie going. I'd look over and see how long that ash was. And if that ash got long, that means she was on her way out. Booze will do that to you in a car. And there was a few times I had to reach over and grab that steering wheel and give her a good tap, say, Mom, that cigarette. I didn't tell her the car needed to be driven. I was just worried about that cigarette falling on her blouse. From a kid's perspective, you just work together to get somewhere. And we children and my mother did everything we could to just be free. That movie, Schwarzenegger, it was so funny because I felt like that guy in the movie. Like Mom was dragging my ass away from everybody because I was going to help everybody. When I was a little kid, I had a conversation with my mother, and we had a gift. I thought everybody had it. I could talk to my mother without using my lips. We talked to each other in her mind. She would look at me, and just like her damn voice light up, I could hear my voice. No, her voice in my head. When you sign that little box on the bottom of a piece of paper, it says, do you hear voices in your head? Why do you say no? Because if you say yes, they're going to fucking strap you up, wrap you up, take you in, duct tape you, put in a white room, right? Everybody fucking knows that. But if I said, hey, can you remember what who sounds like Crystal Gale? Remember what she sounded like? No, because you never heard her. But if I said, you know who Britney Spears sounds like? Yep. How about Taylor Swift? Yep. You got voices in your head? See the difference? The fact of it is no different. The way you're asked the question, what your perspective is what you're going to get out of it. Everything about why you're watching is you're wanting to get something out of me. What is it that I can give you? A piece of information. As a child in Mary Graham Hall in an orphanage, being yanked out of a situation, out of a home, because social workers, everybody else shows up at your house. Kids, this one's for you. The social services are there to protect you. If you're in a difficult situation of any age, circumstance, I don't give a shit, you're an 80-year-old man, got a wife in there, beats the shit out of you every day. Do you know that the elderly are abused as well? Most elderly die not from an affliction, they die of malnutrition. Most elderly die because they don't eat properly. Get back to the present. As a child, Mary Graham Hall, as Paris Hilton will tell you, we were institutional children. We were kidnapped from our parents. Some of our parents sent us to private organizations, volunteering because they didn't want to what? Put in the time. Because everything about market economy says, Daddy, where's my daddy? My daddy ain't home? He's serving market economy. And chances are he's probably with some hooker and a fucking leer anyway. So market economy serves the bastard who wants to do what? Feather his own nest. You want it? You got it. I was married when I was about 24 years old. Out of the foster home I lived with, which was the Prater Ranch. Before that, the Heathcocks, the most evil fucking people on the planet. If you're a foster parent and you are evil, go walk in front of a train. You got no business touching, being around kids. The other part of this. Now, last couple of days, I've been asked, Reverend White, why do you hate gay people? And I said, I do not hate gay people. Who said that? I said, I love gay people. And I always say, I'm bisexual. I love my lesbians and my straight women too. But I also know I'm for sexual. I'm for something sexually healthy that doesn't hurt the heart of the one that you're sharing it with. There's a difference. A queer to me is a guy who runs around pulling his dick in the bathrooms after he's watching kids all day. I don't give a shit. I see the eyes. You watch the eyes are never to lie. They don't lie. The difference between gay, faggot, and queers, if I call you a queer, that's a bad thing. If I call you a little gay and slap you on the ass, maybe you're close enough to be one of my kids. It's not judgment. It's an understanding of what your intention is. If your intention right now watching this is nefarious, I trust you'll shut it off now, because I don't even want you to watch anymore. Kill it. But the next thing is, because you continue, you want to understand what a nefarious character is. So much about my childhood was being in that Prater Ranch, learning how to be a farmer, rancher. I was star greenhand. What you will not know of most of my history is I excelled at everything. I won everything I tried to do. My father said I had the Midas touch. Everything I touched turned to gold. And that was difficult for me, but I always felt that I could always take something and put it together in the shop. We had a metal shop, machine shop, and Dad said, go kid, go have some fun. High school doesn't matter. And the truth of it is, I needed that challenge in my life. Now, when I began to come to my maturity with women, dating, in high school, I fell in love with every beautiful woman I looked at. I said, oh my gosh, can I have them all? But the truth of it is you can't. You can't have more than one woman entangled with you, making love to that one woman and giving her your heart, or 5 other women are around you pulling at you. Those are concubines and everything else. I hear this 1 candle, 4 flames, and everybody 1 candle, he's my 1 candle. That's all bullshit. You can call a man a king all you want. If he ain't got no fortune or castle, he's just a fucking what? A lover. If he's fucking you, he's loving on you. If he's what? Paying you, he might be your pimp or your client. You call it whatever you want. You get a pig, dress it up, put a ribbon around, just a fucking cute pig. I ain't saying nobody that gives up themselves like that's a pig, but god damn it, if you ain't gonna call it fucking whoring around, then you're lying to yourself. I believe in moral aptitude. I believe in the context of healthy sexual relationships. Women do not need to be raped by a man that's twice her size, girth. Let's go rip her apart with something that's huge so you feel like a man. That's horrible. Do you think like that, sir? I had a gentleman. We're going to talk about stalkers for a second. Because the term enforcer's been used, there's a sense that the Reverend White can just stop something. Let's go start some shit, call the Reverend White, get in the middle of it, and get in front of that and that. No, you don't start a fucking fire and then call firemen and fucking laugh when they show up to fucking put the fire out. No, you turn around, you fucking deal with the fucking people setting the fires first. The meaning of enforcement, which we have lockup here. You have district attorneys that have no goddamn business at all in business. Guess what AI can do real fast? You're fired. DAs don't need them. Do you need lawyers? Yeah. Do you need judges? Yeah. You don't need DAs. Why? They don't do shit. They can't do it properly. They can't enforce the laws properly because senators, congressmen, everybody else just said, here's a bag of shit, figure out how to fucking turn it into gold. The only way you get shit to be turned into gold is to get it the hell out of the house, down the pipe, somewhere else, so you can pay the fucking guy who put the pipe in the gold so you can shit. That's how you get shit to turn into gold. You get other people to go around picking up the shit. You give them what? Well, Tracy Parks would say, hey, this is a good idea. That is about as stupid a fucking thing I ever heard. Get 20 people in fucking trucks, guns, and fucking go flip fucking sleeping bags over. You are the stupidest fucking people on the planet. Why doesn't somebody fucking show up? Say, how you doing, bro? You hungry? Hey, wake up. Hey! Oh shit, he's blue, he's dead. See, there's another reason why the police go by and check to see if they're awake in the morning. Why? If they're blue, good thing the little what? Pill, the blue thing that's killing everybody, might have killed one of them on the beach. That's called health and welfare checks. If an officer stops by and says, how are you doing? And you answer, they'll probably keep moving. But if you're blue laying on the ground, fentanyl probably took you out last night. And guess what? That's the other part of my job. I get to what? Bury the Holy Ghost. See, that's what the priest used to do. See, hundreds of years ago, the priest would come to the house. He wouldn't come there for other reasons, which the men have been crucified for today, and some should be. But the priest of the church, the holy church, would come to the home because a mother was laying on the bed. The family was surrounded. They would look to him and they would say, she's been in so much pain. And he would say, let me alone with her. They would all leave the room. She would be of age, her teeth falling, and she would plead with him. And as everybody left the room, he would say, oh, Father, thou art with me. Oh, Father, thou art with me. Oh, Father, thou art with me. Take heed, this soul that we have gathered. And the moment she would take her very soul and surrender it in the presence of holiness, the family would be again gathered into the room, and the spirit would depart in holiness with a real family, with everybody present, the very people that marble, the DNA inside of her, through her womb, she brought these children, family. So the very moment when she says goodbye, she is with the Father in the kingdom of heaven. If you don't believe that, you do not know the Reverend White, because that's in my heart. I'm just here to give you one more inflection, to take the evil that's in your heart, get rid of it. It's there, spin it over, turn it around like a bad marble, and stuff it into the ground. There's no more place for evil. We all got a bad shape. We're institutional kids. It's a police state. The police are fucking up everybody. We got a good president now. Biden belongs in fucking headstocks. Kamala can be the mayor of Brentwood. Shit, we know we need a Palace VA. We need something new for our kids. FEMA first. FEMA first. This ain't about putting your head under a desk because the ground shakes. It's about getting your goddamn money out and fixing. FEMA first. This beach is loaded with opportunity. I'm here because I love the beach. I said it before. If you're in a house, because you own it, whatever, you're visiting someone, I don't give a shit. You're beachless. If you're in a house, you're beachless. If you're here, you're not beachless, you're homeless. I'm at the beach. You got the Reverend White today. Come and shake my hand, say hello. Don't come here asking for some business, because you'll get it. I got good cops. You want their business, go take a swing at them. You want to shake my hand, come and introduce yourself. I'm the Reverend White. And I trust that your heart is good today, because I'm working my ass off to help these kids. If you don't understand it, get to lostangels.org, volunteer, get your heart turned. These people, these young ladies, love helping people. If you've lost your wings, come look for them. Next up, we're going to figure out how to get Carmen Electra up the what? Angel wings. Give it to Angel Electra next. It's more about these ladies evolving to bring something beautiful to you. And I hope a part of my heart, you got full spectrum man. You want it all? Come ask for it. It'd be better if it's a good thing you're asking for. Amen? Declaration, people. Better make a declaration for something. Come to the beach.